Hello, it's me Nabila, and you are watching Agriculture News. We have three different stories in this news. In the first news, we have from Jakarta, and this is promoting agriculture to solve the economy faces a pandemic dilemma. Pushing the economy to grow higher is a dilemma these days. On the one hand, if we encourage more consumption and production activities to grow the economy, this could imply more intensive community interaction and mobility that will be highly likely to lead to an increase in new COVID-19 cases. On the other hand, if we restrict community interaction and mobility to reduce the number of COVID-19 cases, this could be pressure economic growth. Subsequently, lower economic growth could lead higher employment, larger social spending for the poor, and larger fiscal deficit. A study by the Office of the Bank Majority Chief Economist clearly indicates that economic growth is negatively associated with COVID-19 infection. Intuitively, we should reduce our mobility by staying at home to reduce the virus spread, which significantly restrict the economic activities of consumption, distribution, and production. Further, 2020 data on economic growth show that some sectors have been severely affected by the community mobility restriction, such as transportation, hotels and restaurants, trade, construction, and corporate services. Meanwhile, other sectors have been affected because consumers are postponing their spending, such as manufacturing, which has faced weak demand. Agriculture is the sector that best matches this criteria. Interestingly, the agriculture sector absorbed more workers during the COVID-19 pandemic, reaching 38.2 million workers in August 2020, compared to 35.5 million workers in August 2019. The data clearly show that the agriculture sector saved 2.7 million jobs during the pandemic-induced economic crisis. This supports our argument that we should pay more attention to the agriculture sector presently and in the succeeding years. As a result, the GDP share of agriculture gradually decreased to 13.7% in 2020 from 15.7% in 2000, but the service sector jumped to 44.2% in 2020 from 33.4% in 2000. Meanwhile, manufacturing declined to 19.8% in 2020 from 22.7% in 2000. This is the second news. We have news from Jakarta. This is the ministry dismisses concern of deforestation for food estates. The Environment and Forestry Ministry has dismissed concern from environmentalists over the risk of massive deforestation after the ministry passed a regulation allowing forests to be converted into farmland to support the government's food estate program. The ministerial regulation, signed by Minister Citizen Bayrakar on October 26, stipulates that by production forests and protected forests could be converted into so-called forest zones for food security or KHK. Ministry spokesperson Anugrah said the regulation was issued to support national food security, which he dubbed an urgent issue to address amid the global coronavirus pandemic. The food estates are considered essential as the coronavirus crisis has aggravated Indonesia's food security issues. President Joko Widodo announced in late April that key commodities such as garlic, sugar, chili, and chicken eggs were in super supply in more than 20 provinces, while rice was lacking in 7 provinces. The project was also aimed at overcoming food distribution Across the archipelago, land use change, especially in Java, and the country's population growth. The World Food Programme is WFP, and the Java's estimate that the country experienced a 13.2% year-on-year decline in rice production to 16.1 million tons in the first half of 2020. According to the ministry, forest zones that could be converted into support the food estate program are areas that no longer entirely function as protected forests, such as those that have been illegally converted to farmland or have deteriorating conditions due to environmental degradation and deforestation. The Korea administration has announced a plan to develop around 164,600 hectares of land in central Kalimantan and 61,000 hectares in North Sumatra for 30 states. The land will be developed for crops like rice, potatoes, shallots, and garlic. In the last news we have from New Zealand. This is electric cars. Fewer cars in New Zealand's climate change plan. New Zealand unveiled a blueprint Sunday to pass petrol-powered cars while its dairy industry, a key pillar of the economy, much less count number under the ambitious plan to be carbon neutral by 2050. The changes are a non-draft recommendation presented to the government by the Climate Change Commission on steps New Zealand must take to drastically reduce greenhouse gas emissions and address climate change. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said the document, which will now go up for public consultation, show the impact of the reforms will not be an economic burden. A switch from fossil fuels would see hundreds lose their jobs in the coal, oil and gas industries. But the Commission expects that many workers to be re-employed in the circular economy, development of biofuels and hydrogen, and in deploying and supporting new technologies. The Commission wants to enforce to petrol power by 2032 and projects that more than half of all vehicle travel will be an electric vehicle by 2035. Through this method gas level, the report said farmers needed to improve animal performance while reducing stock numbers by around 50% from 2018 levels by 2030. Following the public consultation, the government is due to make final decision by the end of 2021 on whether to adopt the measure. So, that's all the 3 news from agriculture today, and thank you for your attention and goodbye.